go wrong now.
Oh, who has a Kinect game that doesn't quite work? SpongeBob SquarePants! You can't even turn when you come to a fork! SpongeBob SquarePants! If walls are a thing you don't mind when you hit, SpongeBob SquarePants! This game is for you, it's a pile of horse feed! SpongeBob SquarePants! SpongeBob SquarePants! SpongeBob! You suck!
Why, yes, I am a surf master. Thank you for asking.
Now that that's over with, let me read the game description. It says, SpongeBob may live at the bottom of the ocean, but that doesn't mean he can't have tons of fun up top, which begs the question, on top of what? Because certain things are a lot of fun up top. Playing a crappy Kinect game is not one of those things, SpongeBob.
I'm ready. Danger, I'm ready. Peril, I'm ready.
Alright, so I've been singing, and I've been lewd. That should give you a pretty fair idea what I think of SpongeBob's Surf and Skate Roadtrip. It's one of the worst Kinect games I've played in a long time, not to mention one of the best arguments yet as to why the analog stick is still more accurate than the all-knowing, all-seeing camera. Surf and Skate Roadtrip is a surfing and skating game that uses the Xbox 360's motion detecting camera, the Kinect. Of course, in this application, the whole detecting part is debatable, but more on that later. The game kind of plays like an on-rails racer of sorts, only without the racing. Your character automatically moves forward, and you have to steer by moving your body. At least, that's how it works in theory. The game works by giving you a neutral position, so if you stand as you would on a skateboard or surfboard, that's supposed to make you go straight. By moving your leading foot to the left or right, that's supposed to steer in either direction. You race down the course with no time restraints, the objective being to rack up points in a Tony Hawk kind of way and reach the finish line.
I'm pretty sure this slope should have a handrail.
Listen, I really wanted to like this game. I like SpongeBob, I like the idea of a surfing game based on the cartoon. What I don't like is motion controls that don't work. And the whole time I was playing Surf and Skate Roadtrip, I just kept thinking, there is literally an Xbox controller right next to me. Why can't I just use it? Why am I being forced to play a game with something that is inherently less f***ing useful? It's like eating spaghetti with a spoon because someone nailed your fork to the table. That's what playing Surf and Skate Roadtrip is like. It's like interactive video torture. The game has two modes. There's a story mode told via slides. Slides that you see when you're not paying attention, and believe me, you won't be. The cutscenes tie together the races that aren't races, and that's when the game's maddeningly imprecise controls destroy any semblance of enjoyment you might have had from hearing SpongeBob laugh. You see, this time, he's laughing at you. There's a two-player mode, but you probably won't care enough to try it. There's a negligible amount of extra stuff to unlock, but the core gameplay is so imprecise you probably won't play long enough to see it. Even if your kid is a SpongeBob super fan, this is a game you should pass on. Find him something else with SpongeBob's face. There's no shortage of licensed merchandise, and unlike Surf and Skate Roadtrip, a good deal of it is actually fun.
Buddy, I want it for you. Let me take all of our guests down my own memory lane.